We have made quite some progress in and around the house, but now that the hallway is all done, I really want to get started on that staircase makeover, and that includes a gallery wall filled with little DIY projects. So let me show you where exactly I want that gallery wall to go. This is our staircase that goes upstairs. It is very ugly. As I said, this is going to be a makeover very, very soon. But one of my plans for this makeover is this. If you go upstairs here, there is a big wall there. That is where I want to do a gallery wall. And this is actually a little bit of a weird space too, because if you go further up, there is a little space here. I have no idea what I would call it. And then on this side is where you actually go upstairs. And this definitely needs some work too. I mean, So if you're new here, welcome. This is our beautiful Dutch farmhouse that just needs some love. It needs some work, which is what I'm doing. Room by room, I am trying to redesign and update everything and make it all pretty. This definitely is one of those projects. But now that I have finished the hallway, which I am very, very happy with, by the way, I think it looks absolutely beautiful. Remember the hallway? I just want to continue that up the stairs. So that is my next project, but I want a special gallery wall. So that is a project in and of itself. So I'm actually going to go into my studio to see what kind of things, frames and stuff I have. So I have quite the collection of frames. I've been collecting them for quite a while, but I don't want this gallery wall to just be made out of frames. I actually want like a collection of all kinds of things. I'm going to start by putting together some frames that I do have so that we have kind of a base to work off of. And then I'm going to fill it up with a couple of DIY projects. I'm going to create some things to fill up that wall. So let's see what we have. Where am I going to put them? I want to lay them out, but it's a big wall and I don't have the space on the floor here. Where do I go? Where do I put them? Oh, maybe upstairs. Let's put them upstairs. I am loving this mirror. Maybe this could be kind of a centerpiece, so I'm gonna put that in the middle. I'm putting some smaller ones around it. So landscape. So this is definitely not enough. It always surprises me how little it actually is when you lay it all out. I mean, I have a lot of frames, but they are usually bigger. I don't have very many smaller frames. So I think I'm gonna have to go to the thrift store and see if I can find some. I'll take you with me. Okay, so I have arrived at one of my favorite thrift store places because there are 3 thrift stores really close together on this little area. So I can very quickly hit all the thrift stores all at once. Oh, that one's closed. Okay. Okay, well, never mind then. So one of them was closed, so I went to 2 of them. I got some frames and a chair. I got a little bit distracted. There was a beautiful old leather desk chair that I thought would be perfect for Steven's office or my office if he doesn't like it. Anyway, our quest for frames didn't really pan out the way I wanted it to. So I'm gonna go home and see if I pass any other thrift stores on the way. Okay, so I got some smaller pieces, but I also got some bigger pieces again because I can't help myself. I got one tiny one though. Okay, let me show you what I have. I have one small frame that is empty, it's just a frame. I have this, which I thought looked really good, but it has no frame. Then I also have this one because I liked that it was a lighter color, because all of my frames are quite dark, so it's a nice contrast. I also really liked the painting that's inside. And then I got this one for the painting. I really like this painting. It's very simplistic, it's a watercolor, I love it. I do not like the frame, but I do like the artwork. And then I got two of those. Apparently I really like Anton Pieck. I have 3 of them now. The smaller one, the one without the frame, is also from the same artist. So I really like that. I have 2 of those bigger frames. I'm going to reorganize the gallery wall. I find it quite hard to determine exactly where everything is going to go on that wall, especially because it's kind of a weird shape. It's not a square. So I'm basically just laying it out just to get an idea. But when I'm actually going to hang them up, I'm just going to wing it. I'm going to hang something and then add something. I'm really not going to overthink it at all. If I don't like something, I will fill up the hole and I will make a new one. So I have taken the frames for which I want to paint something downstairs so that I can get the measurements and get the paper for it. So I want to paint something for this one because I think it's too dark. I want to paint something for this one because it's empty. And I also want to paint something for this bigger one because, again, it is too dark. I really love this painting though, so I'm definitely keeping it. I'm probably going to put it behind it if I can. But I want to try and paint something that is a little bit brighter. I think that would look better with the other frames as well. Now, I am by no means an artist, so I'm going to keep it very simple. I'm going to make some abstract things that I have seen online. So we're going to create some things and we're going to steal some things. That's okay. I'm going to create some things that I think you can make as well. So maybe if you have a wall somewhere where you still need to paint something, you can get some ideas here. So let me get my paint supplies. I started with an image I found online that looked quite simple. It was a landscape with some mountains and what seemed to be water in front of it. So I gave that a try and miserably failed. I don't use acrylics very often and I have some trouble getting the colors right. So in the end, I didn't like how it looked at all. So I discarded it and started a new one. Now this one was really just a page with a line in the middle, so I was quite confident that I couldn't mess this up. Turns out you can, by the way. I started with a color that was too dark, so I turned it around and made that the bottom, which was supposed to be darker, and then I drew a darker line in the middle. I added some detail with lighter and darker colors to give the illusion of it being a far away land across a lot of water or something. I don't know. But it was good enough and it looked pretty in the frame. For one of the frames, I wanted to use a page of a book. Now, I've always secretly been a big Harry Potter fan, but I don't actually decorate my house with it, and this was a nice way to do it subtly. So I found the first chapter of the first book online and copied the first page or so. Then in Photoshop, I had already created a page in the same size as the frame that it was going to go in, so I dropped the text that I copied into Photoshop, and then I realized I wanted to use the actual font that they used in the book. So I googled what it was and it was very easily available. Then I did a whole bunch of adjustments to make sure it looked the same as in the book, just so that it looked like a real page. And then when it was all done, I sent it to my printer. So I had printed this out on normal printing paper, but obviously that is really, really white. And usually books are a little bit more yellow. So I grabbed my sketchbook and I took out a page of it and ran it through the printer hoping it wouldn't get stuck, and it didn't. So that looks so much better. It's just a little bit more realistic, a bit more like it is actually coming from a book. Okay, so I only did one painting. It was not my most creative day. After failing 3 very simple paintings and then creating one that was just a line, I gave up and continued working on the book, which I really do like. I love how that turned out. So we've got this little painting and this book page in a frame right now. I also framed this watercolor. So I think we do have enough to fill up the gallery wall, but there are 2 other things that I want to add. I want to put an actual book on that wall. So I already have one. It's a very old book, and it's a little bit hard to show you exactly what I mean because it's not hanging on a wall yet. But I want to put this up and like have a couple of pages just be half open like this. Do you know what I mean? You put it up like that, and then you nail a couple of pages like so, and then you put another couple of pages a little further down, and you put nails in there while it's on the wall. So it's kind of hard to show you exactly what I mean when it's still in my hand or on the floor. And then also I want to add a tiny little shelf. So I got 2 very simple shelf brackets. Actually, they are very simple corner brackets. They're not supposed to be for shelves, but they will work because it's only going to be a very small shelf. I'm going to go into the garage and get a scrap piece of wood that I'm going to cut to a smaller size. Then I might sand the edges a little bit as well to finish it off really, but maybe also give it a little bit rounded edges. Then I will put it all together and we're gonna put it in the gallery wall to see what it looks like. So we can actually put some small little trinkets on that shelf while it's on the wall. Okay, so crazy idea. What if I would actually put it up on the wall? I was not planning on doing that in this video because I thought it'd be better to actually finish the entire staircase makeover first, but wouldn't it be much more fun to show you what it actually looks like when it's up? I think it would. So the only thing I'd have to do is sand that wall, then prime the wall, and then put that color up that is actually going to be there. And then we could put up the frames. Let's see what it looks like when it's actually up. I really want to put this up here to hide that wall socket because we're not using it at all. So I'm going to take it out and put one of those little caps on it, and then I'll just put something over it so you don't see it. But this one doesn't actually have a hook, so I cannot hang it at all. I need to get one of those hook things. Now I just hope that everything still looks good when I'm done with that staircase makeover, which by the way, I am starting right after this project. So stay tuned, subscribe, make sure that you get those notifications so that you don't miss it, because I've got quite some plan. I've got a good plan for that staircase makeover. But for now, thank you so much for stopping by, and I hope to see you next week.